Okay, may I have the video, please?
Since the dawn of the 20th century, our home, the Earth, has been undergoing a significant transformation. The average surface air temperature has risen by an alarming 1 degree Celsius. This warming has accelerated since 1975, increasing at a rate of 0.15 to 0.20 degrees Celsius per decade. Interestingly, not all parts of our planet are experiencing this change equally. Land areas are warming faster than the oceans. The Arctic, in particular, is on the front lines of this climate change, experiencing a rapid and dramatic increase in temperature. But what's causing this accelerated warming? The answer lies in our own actions. Human activities, especially those causing greenhouse gas emissions, are major contributors to this recent warming trend. The consequences of global warming and climate change are profound and far-reaching. They threaten our ecosystems, our economies, and our way of life. But there is hope. Urgent action is needed, and each one of us has a role to play. By embracing sustainable practices and reducing our carbon footprint, we can combat global warming and ensure a safe, healthy planet for future generations. The time to act is now. Together, we can make a difference.
Well, thank you. This video is not AI. Only the voice is AI. Just input whatever they want. You want the AI to speak, they'll speak for you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to talk about carbon neutrality or environment. I represent three entities. CRT, AES, and ESG Planet. If you wonder why three companies, each of these companies have its own unique focus. But when they come together, they form an ecosystem to achieve carbon neutrality. As you have seen on the video, our world is changing very fast. It's getting hotter. The temperature is getting higher with extreme weather and less biodiversity. And these changes tell us how our action affect our planet. With all this, we can help to make a change. We can make a choice that are good for our planet. And today we talk about how we can all work together to reduce carbon footprint and solutions, and also everything to save the planet. It starts from us, every one of us, from individuals to organizations and also companies and also the government. Carbon neutrality is a complex process and involves balancing greenhouse and also to remove the carbon dioxide or emission from the atmosphere. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, every country around the world is aiming for carbon neutrality. Here in Thailand, we aim to reduce greenhouse emission by 40% in 2030. And in 2050, we aim to have carbon neutrality. 2065, we aim to have net zero emission. That means no gas emission at all. But this is a big step, but we're all ready to make the change. How about other countries? Okay, the international goal for net zero. In last year, in 2023, the country that have net zero is Bhutan. Okay, zero emission. They have more oxygen, more air than emission. Well, this is a very good news for all of us. Okay, followed by Panama and also Madagascar. They self-claim that they are self-declare they are carbon zero, okay, zero emission. From 2030 to 2045, we have 3 other countries pledged for carbon neutral or net zero. They are Sweden, Finland, and Austria, among other countries. And 2050, the United States, Philippines, and also Japan going for net zero. And in 2060, we have Indonesia and China going for net zero. And last but not least, Thailand aiming at 2065. We are more realistic. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, carbon neutrality. To achieve this is not a single action, but it's a very complex process. And I'd like to share with you 3 key steps that we all must take. First, we need to understand our impact. We need to analyze the emission by measuring our carbon footprint. Everything is carbon footprint. Whatever we do daily, our daily life in businesses and everything we do, there is a carbon footprint. This gives us a clear picture where we stand and how we need to address this. Number 2, we need to tackle the root of the problem by using engineering technology and also with administrative strategy to mitigate the source, to find out the source, and also we need to reduce them. And this means we need to use renewable energy like solar panel, wind turbine, and whatever renewable energy that we can think of. Third step, if we cannot reduce, it is impossible to reduce carbon footprint or emission, you see, but we need to offset. How do we offset? We need to buy carbon credit. Okay, if you are not aware of what is carbon credit, or maybe most of you are aware of it, but I will tell you more about it. Reducing carbon emission with carbon credit or carbon offset is carbon neutral. Okay, but many organizations or company or manufacturing sector, they say, can we just buy all the carbon credit? Just offset everything? I say, no way, we cannot do that. You need to do something to reduce your carbon footprint, like using renewable source energy or manage your waste and many other things as well. Whatever balance, then you offset with carbon credit. This is the way to go. Not just because you have a lot of money. No, I'm going to pay everything. No way. We cannot do that. Okay. Okay. Next, ladies and gentlemen. As I mentioned, 3 companies earlier: the CRT, AES, and ESG Planet. And now we'd like to talk about ESG. Okay, ESG. This is the highlight. AES, the company that handle ESG. We focus on solution more than just measure and keep track, okay? We also help to manage the specific standard like well and leads. We focus on 9 important areas. Keep the air clean, control carbon emission, improve energy use, create a healthy environment, save water, improve lighting, ensure safety, cutting down waste, and also supporting green supply chain. Okay, well and leads are the 2 most important standards in sustainable building. Well is a system you can check and keep track on our surrounding that affect our health and happiness. Well pays attention to 7 elements, which is the air that we breathe, the water that we drink, the food that we eat, the light that we see, our physical fitness, our comfort, and also our mental state. The other standard system is LEEDS. LEEDS in short called Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. It's a popular system used all over the world to build a green building. This is to guide how good is our health, save energy, and of course, cost effective as well. Okay, if you see a building with LEED certification, that means this building is committed to sustainability. Okay, ESG. How do we come to ESG? Which business, okay, we started from CSR a long time ago, okay? CSR for business, and also after that we expanded to sustainability to focus on a long-term eco-balance. And then we have, okay, this is sustainability, this is how we started. And then we have the SDG, and now we shift towards to ESG, which is for business and organization challenge, to recognize sustainable practice that can lead to economic benefits, which this is what I will focus on today. ESG. Okay, there are three core sectors of ESG. E is for environment. Under environment, we have gas house emission. Okay, gas house emission released to the atmosphere from every single business activities. Reducing the gas house emission is very important. It's a key goal to all businesses because this emission will contribute to climate change. Energy. This sector emphasizes on usage of energy by businesses, but more and more businesses are moving to renewable source of energy to minimize their carbon footprint. Next is water. Water management is another critical environment. It's how the business use and conserve water as well as manage wastewater. Material and waste. This sector is about waste management. Involves how we optimize our material use, minimize waste, and also promote recycling. Biodiversity. Biodiversity represents every single living things on earth, from the sky to the ground. Everything, the plant, the birds, the animals, the sea, everything. So the business can impact the biodiversity with their operation. So they have to be very careful to minimize negative impact and promote conservation effort. Okay, next we go to social. Human rights and labor standard. Businesses must follow human rights and labor standard, including fair pay, reasonable working hours, and also prevent child and forced labor. Employee management is how businesses manage their employees, which include providing opportunity for growth and development, maintaining a positive work environment, and also treating every employee with respect and dignity. Next is diversity, equity, and inclusion. This is about promoting fairness, value differences, and offering equal opportunity to create an inclusive environment. Occupational safety and health. This involves providing a safe working environment, implementing safety protocol, and also promoting employees' well-being. Community engagement. This involves how a business engages with the community. For example, you set up a factory in the middle of somewhere. You need to support the local businesses as well, contribute to community development, supporting a local business, respect the rights and culture of the local communities. Next, we go to governance. Governance is about how an organization organizes to the highest level, which include the role and responsibility from the board of directors, executive management, and how they interact and make decisions. Policy commitment are formal statements made by the organization about value, goals, and responsibility. They guide the company's action and signal its commitment to the stakeholders. Risk management is how they manage their risk to protect an organization goal through informed decision and proactive risk reduction. Anti-corruption and transparency. The organization needs to have a clear policy and procedure to prevent corruption. They also need to be transparent about their activities, providing accurate and timely information to the stakeholders. Data privacy. Companies and organizations have access to a big amount of data, and this data need to be protected and respecting individuals' privacy rights. Okay, next we are talking about the carbon footprint. Carbon footprint is the total gas house emission emitted by businesses across the supply chain. That means it's not only the business control the emission, but also your supply chain. Whoever your supplier, they also need to control the gas emission as well. Okay, we have to start pinpointing where the emission come from if you're doing a business or any activities or any from any organization, which will help us to target the plan to reduce them. There are 3 scopes. Scope 1 is direct emission from your own business activities. Whatever you do, there is a direct emission. Scope 2 is secondary, I can say that indirect energy that we buy. For example, you buy fuel or gasoline or what do you call that, whatever fuel, that is called the indirect emission. Scope 3 is all other indirect emission, like those material that you buy and the product that you sell. Next company is ESG Planet, which I'm the CEO, where our mission is to turn every event planning to be sustainable. There are so many events all over the world. It's like every day we have events in Thailand. Right now we have an event. Next door we have an event. And every country, every part of the world having events. So these events will emit gas emission. How do we operate? First, we have to calculate. We work with organizer, event organizer, music festival promoters, concert promoters, providing them with tools and expertise need to calculate the emission produced during the event. And this is one of the events. We also produce gas emission as well. And this is the first step to understand how can we manage their environment impact. Second, we need to offer a solution. After we calculate the gas emission, the total gas emission from the event, from a plenary meetup, we need to tell them, okay, this is the amount of gas emission. So is there any way you can reduce it? Yes, we can. Like, we don't use plastic bottle during the event. This hotel is good. They are using glass bottle. So it saves the planet as well. And anything that we can do to save the planet, to reduce. Like, most people will drive car to the meeting, so we try to tell them, take a public transport. Come together, or carpooling. These are the ways that we can do to reduce. But as much as we can to reduce this carbon emission, there is still a bit left. We need to offset. We cannot reduce 100%. We can only reduce maybe 40% or 50%. The balance you need to offset. How do we offset? Some emissions are unavoidable, so the event organizer offset their carbon footprint by carbon credit project. These are the objectives. Carbon credit. Okay, this is very fast. I got only a few slides to go. 2 more slides to go. Okay, now we talk about carbon credit. Carbon credit is a crucial tool for us to fight against climate change. Carbon credit is about reducing carbon emission, storage of carbon, capture of greenhouse gases through various environmental projects. There are 3 types of carbon credit projects. There are clean energy projects, which is the wind or solar or any other renewable source. Next, number 2 is waste management project, and the third one is agricultural and forestry project. It's focused on planting more trees, managing forests to absorb more carbon dioxide. For example, 1 carbon credit equals to offset of 1 ton of carbon CO2. Buying carbon credit allows companies to offset their emission and contribute to a cleaner and more sustainable planet. Take, for example, Grab app that we use for, transport or buying food and everything else. They have offset, in 2022, they have offset 30,000 carbon emission and also planted 200,000 trees via buying carbon credits. When we go to the forest, we feel that, wow, the air is so fresh. It's because of forest conservation. We need more forest and more green to make the whole planet to be, to have more fresh air for us. The only way is through carbon credit. You cannot plant tree. Not everybody can plant tree. Not everybody can go to the forest. So the only way is carbon credit. Now I would like to introduce you to Carbon Credit Registry, a carbon registry Thailand, the core company in this three companies ecosystem. We specialize in using satellite remote sensing technology, specifically LiDAR, to accurately assess carbon credit for agriculture and forestry project. And our approach is very detailed and reliable. We develop a methodology which aligns with the UNFCCC, the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, that ensure every carbon credit we certify and verify is of highest standard. CRT has streamlined the carbon credit calculation process with innovative tools such as satellite, CRT, not just calculating carbon credit, is about setting a new benchmark in accuracy, efficiency, and integrity for a more sustainable future. I'm finishing soon. Satellites are our eyes in the sky, constantly monitoring the forest and plantation, the land use and greenhouse concentration. Advanced sensing with sensor and laser, satellite measure changes to our atmosphere, which include the carbon dioxide level in the air, providing us with crucial data to help us to understand the climate change. Forest carbon monitoring that we use our LiDAR technology is a multi-beam radar and measure every element of the tree. We can even know the tree height, the size of the tree, what kind of trees. We know everything using satellite, and it's more accurate. The final part, we need to know why we use satellite instead of conventional way of physically sending a big team to the forest to check the forest sample. Firstly, we don't have to send a big team. We only need 2 person, 1 or 2 person, probably an engineer or analyst to collect the data, and not only reduce manpower, but also more effective use of resources. Accurate technology. The technology we employ are trusted and accurate, and we are using the Web3 blockchain technology and AI as well, which are transparent. These technology are more accurate and trustworthy. Cost effective, as we don't have to send any manpower there, so it's cost effective with a lower operational cost. Speedy process, we can do things very fast compared to the conventional way where you have to go to the jungle, you have to climb uphill and downhill. So satellite helps a lot. And it's also environmentally friendly. There is no potential damage to the forest or biodiversity. We carry out our works without disturbing the natural balance. Full-scale measurement, our technology allows us to measure and accurately 100% of the forest area with no area left out, and result will be more accurate. In conclusion, satellite technology is about efficiency, accuracy, cost effectiveness, speed, environmental friendliness, and also comprehensive coverage. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, to wrap up, let's look back at what we have learned. We dug deep into the carbon neutrality, look at the key ideas of environment, social, and governance, ESG, and seen how carbon credit play a big role for a greener future for our planet. To be carbon neutral isn't easy. It's something we need to do for our planet and also for our future generation. So we need to change how we act, what we think is important, and how we plan things. Remember, every little thing that we do to cut down our carbon emission or carbon footprint helps to make the world a better place. ESG principles are our guide on this journey. They remind us of being sustainable, and it's not all about environment, it's also about social responsibility and ethical. This principle point us to the ways of doing things that are good for us, our community, and also our planet. Carbon credit are the key part of this. They give us the way to measure our progress and encourage green practice. We buy carbon credit. We are not just only balance out our emission, we also help the project protect the forest and the environment, and also the people surround the forest. In closing, getting a carbon neutrality is something we all need to work on. It's up to us as individuals, as community, and also as businesses. Let us use the ESG principle, buy carbon credit, work together for a carbon neutral future. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the end. If you have any question and you want to get in touch with us, you can scan the QR code on the screen for my contact detail. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.